show. We're doing more of our Posthomerica artwork here. And we're on the page with all the stuff because we finished, or I made the last couple finishing touches on this once the stream crashed. Basically, that's how all these streams end now, because at some point this mobile Photoshop just crashes the stream, and so they cut off at various points. So don't adjust your set. That's just the stream crashing and ending. But yeah, this is the final for this one. I think it turned out really well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. Now, the last three, when we check our list here, we have 2, 4, and 8 are the final 3 chapters to do, so that's the 3 down here. Let's do, well, any of these could work. Let's do this one, I guess. EURYPYLUS. You can see that we have Heracles' shield on here, and we're going to trace little pieces of that to add detail to this picture. It looks like we have a pretty defined border that I don't think we have to change. I do want to redo the line art. And just give it a final run through with that. We're going to match the details of Neoptolemus's previous iteration. I don't think we're gonna. Yeah, so the outlines of the border are still gonna be black, with the inside being red. Okay, so let's do this. Before we forget, though, let's duplicate it. And we're going to take this and put it in the old folder. Let's open our Eurypylus Purif file. What do we got? Okay, a lot of references. A lot of really cool references, too. First things first, we should take our Neoptolemus artwork, and we're going to use that as a reference to draw in Neoptolemus in this one. So we'll just kind of match what we had for that. Okay, I don't know why it's not deselecting, but alright. Now we're going to paste this in, and we'll just, oops, what did I do? I duplicated. We are going to use this when we need it, but not yet. You can see how much of a difference the weathering effects make. Okay, so what do we want to actually redo? Pretty much everything. Everything except for the borders, really. All right. So we're gonna... I mean, this we don't need anymore. We're gonna delete that. And let's just, I guess, go from the bottom up. So all these layers will eventually get turned on. But for now, we're going to turn them off. And this we're actually going to just turn off. And for this, let's just match the color, even though we're going to change this color. Now we just make the picture again. Not really that much involved in this part of the process. We might add another detail or two, but for the most part, we're just redoing the work. We're going to redo a little bit of these as well. Because it's a little too far forwards. Oh, and you know what? We're going to do this with the bones too. And these like corpses that they would draw on the ground are usually pretty non-anatomical. So we're not really going to worry that much about like the proportions and stuff. Okay, that's our new dead body. Let's fix this. Good. So let's make a fill layer for that. We'll turn this on just to sample the color. Okay. So that's one of our figures in. We can add extra details later, although I suspect we're really not going to want to add anything else to this guy or the other corpse because they're like the last thing we want you to look at. So now, I guess we'll just group this in a turned off layer. We'll turn on the next guy. This guy has the signature backwards head of many depictions of Greek corpses. Now for this guy, the reference picture I'm looking at kind of does have some nice details, so we might use those. It's really strange looking the way that these bodies have the backwards heads. And here I'm just pulling from a reference for this character. So there's nothing really that exciting to do. We just want to essentially just bring him into the frame. All right. Let's just make this hand a little larger now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's really freaky with the backwards head. And again, it's not meant to actually represent a head that has been, the neck snapped and that head is facing the other way. It's literally like just a paradigm in Greek pottery that a corpse lying on the ground, for some reason, has a head that's twisted backwards. It like denotes death. So I wanted to get that in one of the pictures. This guy actually has pretty ornate armor. But we don't want to make it so ornate that it takes away from Neoptolemus, because his armor is actually pretty sparse. Okay. Alright, so now let's move down to here. Yeah, this guy actually has a way more ornate bunch of armor than Neoptolemus has, so we might want to scale it back at some point, but for now it's fine. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know to what extent we're going to want to detail this, but all right. How does this make sense? It doesn't. Let's start with his foot. Okay. And we'll make that the only details for now. There's a little bit of extra stuff that we could put in, but I don't think it's going to serve the picture. Oh, and let's also turn off that layer. Yeah, good. All right. Good. All right, that's 2 layers in. Let's do the same thing here where we just put these in a group. Now we have a pretty complicated character. This is Eurypylus. We're going to turn off the corpses now. He has a great motif on his head. I used that from some picture. I thought that was a really cool concept. Where did I use it from? I think it was a red figure piece that oh no, it was black figure. Yeah, but you can see that a lot of the line work is very sketchy and all over the place. So we're going to turn off the black. We're going to leave on the shield thing, and we're just going to turn that down, I guess. going to turn this down. We're definitely going to want to add a few more details onto this layer as well. The question is, how much can we even depict this shield of Heracles here? At such a scale, it might not even be possible. But let's give it a shot. We'll just try it now. Oh yeah, it's pretty tough. And the point is, we don't want to raise the brush size, because then it'll feel too much like we just, or rather we don't want to lower the brush size, because we want it to feel like the artist could have made this picture with, you know, normal tools. Oh man, okay. Yeah, we're getting into the size where you can actually see the pixels. So let's just do a quick preview of what this looks like so far. Yeah, it's kind of cool, actually. Definitely very small details, but I think in this instance it works really well. Okay. We're going to want to pick and choose some of these things to depict. We're gonna get, what's his name in there? Iolaus. And we're actually gonna kind of cheat this line. The curve doesn't really go this way when we adapted the picture, but it would, I think, if we did the actual shield. Like this. And I think it should probably bump out past the edge. I don't know if that would provide a tactical disadvantage or not. Like maybe it gets caught on stuff or something. So let's take a look. Yeah. If you are a really eagle-eyed viewer, you'll also realize that under here would be another layer of the shield, and also that the shield, if it's really depicted the way we showed it in the picture, it would be upside down. So this should be the opposite direction, but it would be too hard to make out the figures that way, so I just kind of cheated it. Sometimes you just got to make concessions for readability. The real question is going to be once we fill this thing, because I guess we're filling it with black, so the figures are going to be black on the inside and the shield is going to be black on the inside. Maybe we'll fill the shield with red and then the figures will be black, or other way around, because it would be weird if it's like black on white on black. So now let's just get some little patterns in here. We're going to turn this stuff off for a second. That's kind of cool. It was like a cutoff pattern. What if we had this? Whoa. Hold it. Let's save it. Whenever it stops making inputs like that, I gotta make sure to save. What's going on here? Oh, we're using the eraser. That's what's happening. So yeah, maybe it's got this little towered structure on it, and maybe we have just the hints of some other pictures that you can't really see. Because yeah, at that scale, it's like you're never gonna see what it is, and you're never going to be able to depict it with that small of a pen, or with that large of a pen rather. So okay, that looks pretty darn cool. Now we're gonna just fix this shape here. And let's put something inside. I know it's a different pattern on our version, but it wouldn't read on this type of artwork. And don't forget, every time we go to a new chapter, it's potentially a new like fictional Greek artist that's making that picture. So this would be some other Greek artist's interpretation of the same picture, in which case he might change features of the, of the other picture to suit his image. So it's not like we're being untrue to the original image that we drew, because this is supposed to be some other guy drawing it. Okay, so now let's combine all these layers. It's just one layer, and let's turn these back on. We don't need that anymore. I do want to get a little layer like right under this original layer. Yeah, because that's going to give just a little bit of volume to the underside of that. Good. I see. This actually all lives behind Eurypylus' head. And since we have the shield as one thing, let's actually make it its own layer for now, just so we have it. We're obviously going to combine all this once we're properly doing the artwork, but it's nice to have the flexibility for a little while at least. Let's pick a character to base him off of. The way that they would draw mustaches for a beard is kind of not really. It's a little strange. It's just like one little line, like a pencil mustache. They had an interesting way of drawing ears too, which I want to try and copy here. Yeah, this weird bottom lobe part is like very sharp. I don't know what that's supposed to represent. I've never seen an ear with a lobe that was that sharp before, but it's cool looking. You could see we were indicating in the original line art where these kinds of lines would go, but we never did them. I like his pointy beard here too. I'm going to keep that. Let's just see what this looks like solo. Yeah, it looks great. So we're already getting a higher level of detail just by taking a little extra time. So if we turn this off, great, looks great. That's another instance where we got a lot out of a little here. I like this dotted line aesthetic that we have for a lot of stuff. We might keep that going. Okay, so we're moving our way up the pole here, and we have plenty more to do, but we got plenty done. So that's book 8, Eurypylus chapter we're on now. We're doing good. Thanks for joining the show, ladies and gents. The channel is called The Voice of Nick. If you want to see more, don't forget to hit the follow button, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.